Hey YouTube, Chris from Hockey Tutorial here. So today we're going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to find your ice hockey skate size and width from home. So hopefully this video might make it a little bit less complicated for buyers who have to get their skates online. It's always a lot more helpful if you know your exact skate size and width before you're ordering your skates online. The following things you'll need to have with you while you're carrying out this tutorial. You'll need a flat surface to sit on, a chair's best. You'll need 2 pieces of paper that both of your feet can fit on. You're also going to need a pen or a pencil so you can draw around your feet while they're on the paper. You're going to need a ruler and a calculator. And an important thing to also have with you is try to keep the socks that you're going to have while your hockey skates are on. So if they're going to be proper hockey socks or just standard normal socks, just have them on while you're measuring because they'll give you a much more accurate size. Hopefully another useful point to this video will be that we'll show you how to measure your skate length in inches and centimetres. And what that means is that, as you may or may not know, a lot of brands have their skate sizes slightly different to others. So if you have your skate length and width in inches, it means that you can compare it to some of the other brands and get you a much closer fit. Because being a size 10 in a Bauer skate might not mean that you're a size 10 in a CCM skate. So the first part of the tutorial that you need to do, after collecting all the things that you need, a pencil, ruler, the 2 pieces of paper that both your feet can fit on, and somewhere to sit down. As we recommended, a chair would be best. You want to place one of your feet onto the pieces of paper, making sure that you have enough space in front and behind because you're going to need to draw around it. And to draw around it, you want to have the pencil facing straight up, and you always want the pencil to be in contact with your foot while you're drawing around it. You don't want it to be away or underneath. You want it to always be straight up and always be touching your foot as you draw around it. So we'll just give that a go. So same again, place your foot down, make sure you have enough space in front and behind. Keep the pencil as straight up as possible and always have it in contact with your foot as you're going round. And that's both feet done. I'll show you what comes next. This is just a quick example. There's my size right there. And from here, what you're going to need to do is draw a line horizontally, that way, just across the highest point of your toe, so the end of your toe. In my case, that would be right there. And you also need to draw another line at the base of your heel, right at the end of your heel. Those 2 lines are going to be used to determine the length of your foot, which you'll need to determine the width. And also what you need to do is just draw a line across the widest part of your foot. That's going to be the sizing of the width that you're going to go with. So in my case, that would be roughly about there, across there. So I draw 3 lines in total. One at the base of the drawing, right by my heel. Another one at the top of the drawing, at the end of my toe. And another one at the widest part of your foot. You're going to need to do this for both of the sizes that you do, because in some people's cases, or in most people's cases, not all of your feet are the same size. You normally have one foot slightly bigger than the other, or one foot slightly wider than the other. So it's important to get 2 sketches of both of your feet, and you're going to go with the biggest foot. That'll be the size that you'll go with, just to make sure that the skates fit comfortably. You can also do this exercise with someone else. If you want someone else to draw around your feet, it's better to stand up. That's the best way of getting an accurate reading from somebody else drawing around your feet instead of yourselves. So after you've finished drawing around both of your feet, you need to measure both of them, as I'm about to show you now. And you need to take the biggest size from both the measurements that you get and use that size as your hockey skate size. The reason for that is a lot of people have 1 foot bigger than the other or 1 foot wider than the other. So it's a really good idea to get a measurement of both of your feet. So the next part of the video, I'm just going to show you how to measure your feet. After you finish sketching around as I have, you want to find the longest part of the toes, or the end part of your toes, which is right there in my case, and you want to draw a vertical line just straight across from there. So you want to go right to the end of the toe and draw a line just straight down. The next part is to draw a line across the widest part of your foot. In my case, that looks like it's going to be right about there. It's important to make sure the line stays within the sketch of your foot while you're doing this, because that's what you're going to use to find the width. And the last part is to just draw a line at the base of your foot by your heel, right at the end. And that's what you're going to use to determine the length of your foot. I'll show you that. So the last part of the video is you just need to measure out the different lines that you've drawn on the page. So I'll start with the end point of my toe and the end point of my heel, or the furthest point of my toe and the end part of my heel. I'm going to be measuring in inches. You just want to put the ruler straight across and make sure you get the measurements as accurate as you possibly can. So for the length of my foot, it's coming up at 10.3 inches, so I'm just going to write that down. And then you need to do the width, which is going to be again in inches. And that's coming up at 4.2, so I'm just going to write that down. And then the next part is just to divide the length by the width, and then I'll show you how to make use of the reading. So for the last part of the video, as we said, you need to divide the length by the width. So I'm just going to use my calculator for that. So as we said, my length was 10.3 and the width was 4.2, so I'm going to divide 10.3 by 4.2. So I've got a size of 2.45. As we said, the only numbers you need to pay attention to are the first number and two numbers after the decimal place, so you can just ignore the rest of those numbers there. So as we said, my size is 2.45, and to give you an idea of how to translate that into width, if the numbers that you get are higher than 2.65, then you'll probably be good with a size like a D width, which is an average size. If the numbers that you get on the calculator are between 2.5 and 2.65, a size E should be okay for you. In my case, the numbers are below 2.5, which means I need to go into much wider width territory, such as size double E and R. In my case, my size translates to an EE, or a double E. If you want more information about the different sizes, as the numbers are quite overwhelming to take in for the first time, there'll be a chart available at hockeytutorial.com that translates all of the different widths that you get into size on a skate for you. If you'd like to find your skate length out, all you need to do is just get the length written down in inches, work your way over to hockeytutorial.com, and we'll have a chart that you can enter in the size that you got in inches, and we'll be able to translate that into a hockey size. We'll also have it available in different brands, so you can find out what size you are in all the different brands, just to get you a bit more prepared for ordering your skates, and hopefully this should make it a lot easier. And the length of my foot, that equaled 10.3 inches, and using the sizing chart available at hockeytutorial.com, that worked out to be a size 9 US. Just taking a look at a pair of the most recent skates I've got, I had these fitted in a store, and that was the size that I got recommended, which is a 9EE, which is the exact same size that the method I've shown you here today works out at. So it's a really good method to use. If you guys need more tips and help, visit hockeytutorial.com. Don't forget to subscribe and rate. Envy, hero. Is that a